is Frank Shea, and the title of his speech is Wonk. Frank Shea has been a member of Suncoast for 9 years. He is a competent communicator and a competent leader. He brought his manual and had people sign it. He is close to getting his second CL. Obviously, he's still bringing a book. Frank is a boring old geezer. I wouldn't say that, but I just did. And his life focus is his Bible family and his Suncoast family. His other passions are NFL football and all things cars. His speech tonight is about cars. Frank Shea, Wonk.
So good to see you all tonight, Melissa's guest and my guest Angela, Christian, and Adrian. My friends, I am a self-proclaimed know-it-all car guy. I am an erudite car wonk with all the answers. If it's automotive esoterica or arcane, I own it. I am the master of motoring minutia. Last time I gave a talk like this, the car market changes every 3 to 4 years. Now, last time I gave this speech, I was periodically drowned out by gasps of astonishment and cries of amazement. Please, try to muffle your reactions until I'm finished, if you could. Apparently it's going to be pretty easy. Why are cars a worthy subject for a Toastmasters meeting? Well, over time, the cost of your house, which is what most of us assume is our most expensive purchase, may easily be overridden by the cost of the cars we buy while we're owning that house. It's certainly the case with Sue. The average car on the road today is 11 and a half years old. 11 and a half years old. There's 136 million cars on the road, and the average car is 11 and a half years old. That's remarkable. Third point, a lot of things have changed in the car market, and if there's a takeaway tonight, if you're considering a new car, or you're considering a car, a good late model used car, reliability is probably going to be comparable. But the newer cars are laden with safety features that cars of even a few years ago don't have. So shop carefully. If you're going to have your car for 11 and a half years, you need to have all the bells and whistles on it when you get it. I've been known occasionally during my 9 years with Suncoast to have strong opinions on things. I tend generally to keep them to myself. But, easy. Tonight, I am not going to be giving you my opinions on cars. I have lots of opinions, but there are tremendous differences in the quality, the reliability, and owner satisfaction of the cars on the road today. And the information I give to you tonight will be data-driven and fact-based. There is one credible, unbiased source for information in the car market, and that is the holy grail of automotive truth. Consumers Report Auto Issue. This tells the truth, and so in the course of this evening, I may hurt somebody's feelings, and it's certainly not my intention. I'm just telling you the way it is. When Consumers Report does their annual car survey, 1 million people responded. It takes about 20 or 25 minutes to do the report if you've ever done it. 1 million people have done that, and many of those people own 2 cars. So the report is on 1,400,000 cars. Those huge numbers separate out the cars that are truly high quality, reliable, dependable, and that the owners like. And million respondents, 1.4 million vehicles. These huge numbers separate out the good cars from the mediocre, and it's actually the ordinary, not mediocre, the ordinary cars, and the few bad cars that are on the market. And I'll touch lightly occasionally on some of the pretty good cars and some of the cars that aren't quite good. To put this in a perspective for you, for every 100 Hondas sold, there are 83 warranty repairs. For every 100 Jeeps sold, there are 700 warranty repairs. So, doing your homework, having a reliable, credible, unbiased source to help you sort through the data and see what you can count on to be reliable for your probably $34,000, that's the average price of a car today. One of the things this indicates is that a lot of us have not the wrong car necessarily, because probably all of us kind of like our car, but we may have purchased the less than optimal car. Why? There are 4 reasons why we tend, as individuals, to buy a car that may not be the optimal car for us. First, good-looking cars with good advertising. Here come some of the bruises. Chrysler is the poster boy for this car, for this phenomenon in the car market. I always drove, my family always drove, we always dealt with this dealer. Boy, there's not a worse reason today to select a car than the fact that you always drove that kind of car. Shop around, try some of the things. There are incredible differences in cars that look relatively alike. Uninformed consumer. If you were to stroll through the Consumer's Report Guide, some of the things would absolutely amaze you. You would be full of, I didn't know that. Couple your, I didn't know that, with a good salesperson. Not a pressure salesperson, but a good salesperson. Person, after probably the first 4 or 5 minutes of talking with you, will say, let's take a drive. The mantra of car sales is you drive it, you buy it. So they want you in that car. If the car you're trading in is 11 and a half years old, you're pretty certain to like whatever it is they put you in, because it's going to be an improvement. And then the final point, buy American. Buy American. Who doesn't want to support the American car makers? We tend to look at them as the big 3. First is General Motors, going back and forth with Toyota as the largest selling car company in the world. It's been ahead the last couple of years, Toyota a few years before that. General Motors and Ford tend to, at the end of the year, crank out several 100,000 low-priced models for rental car fleets. And that's one of the ways they stay as the most popular car. If you, let me just touch on GM one more thing. If you're looking at a GM car right now, the Chevys have proven to be very reliable, high owner satisfaction, decent quality. Buicks, have you seen the ad where the valet can't find the Buick because he doesn't recognize it, or the little old lady does? Well, that's not a Buick. It is a Buick. And probably the reason they don't recognize it is because it's made in China. And I'll touch on Ford. Ford has made a decent car. They have been ranked consistently 8th or 9th out of the 30 cars that are sold in the United States today. 8th or 9th isn't bad. However, if you've been paying attention to even the most superficial car news, their infotainment system, their connections to your telephone, their connections to Bluetooth, all of those things are very, very problematic. And overall now, Ford has dropped to 19th in reliability. Chrysler, the last of the big three. If you're going to buy Chrysler, man, really, really shop. I have an electronic subscription to the database. Talk to me. I won't try and sell you or guide you or do anything, but I'll let you see what they say about the various cars. I refer to these as the big three. They're pretty soon going to be the big two. Chrysler has put in a bid to buy General Motors. General Motors rejected the initial bid, but talks are underway. Mary Barra, the president of General Motors, said the industry has to consolidate. So that's a 2 + 2 equals somebody's going to buy General Motors. Now, when we talk about, well, I'm going to buy a GM car because it's made in America, uses American parts, uses American label.
Labor.
Look at the, what do you think? Just, Joe Jones, who makes the most American car? Corvette. No, the Corvette is a made in America car, that's true. But if you look at a line of cars, what manufacturer has more American parts, more American labor, and more American manufacturing than any other brand? Toyota. Toyota is far and away, uses more American, is more of an American car than any of the big three. And a couple of you knew that. Surprisingly, second place is Honda. So if you were to look through the information, you would find in many, many ways that Toyota and Honda have bulletproof reliability, have great owner loyalty, and put out a high-quality product. One of the things I'll touch on, this is something I meant to mention earlier when I was saying shop carefully on a Chrysler. As I mentioned, there are 30 brands of cars sold in the United States today. Chrysler had 4 of the 5 lowest rated cars. They're beautiful. They got good ads. Remember, imported from Detroit, the ad that won the Super Bowl? The car that was imported from Detroit was made in Canada. Most cars today will run 100,000 miles. You can be pretty comfortable of that. Less than 1% of all cars run for 200,000 miles. 10 cars who have enough reliability to consistently run 200,000 miles, 5 Toyotas, 5 Hondas. Now, as I wrap up, in the love notes tonight, if you would, I would appreciate it very much if you let me know if this kind of stuff is of interest or value to you. If it is, there's the next time. I'd like to talk about recommended cars by size and price point. If you're looking to spend $30,000 and get a 4-door sedan, what you should buy. Recommended SUVs by size and price point. And finally, the negotiating skills you need to get the most favorable deal. Thank you.